Family Credit Management is a non-profit credit counseling agency. We specialize in helping people take control of their debt.
People call in every day. By the end of the call, they're feeling better. They know there's some hope out there.
For over a decade, Family Credit Management has helped tens of thousands of Americans deal with the burden of debt.
If you're struggling with debt, the most important thing is to take control of it. Now's the time.
Hello, and welcome back to Family Credit Management's Half Hour. My name is Laura Butler, and I am a certified credit and housing counselor. We're here live talking to you guys about lots of different things as far as spending plans, credit. I'm also a housing counselor, so I am able to assist people with those type of questions. So if you do have questions, feel free to call in. The number to reach me is 312-738-1060, and I'd be happy to take your call live on the air. Otherwise, you can also call our debt management company. They can be reached at 800-994-3328 if you choose that you don't want to use your call over the phone and talk to me on air. So I would like to just kind of start off. Over the last few weeks, we've been discussing spending plans and the different types of spending plans you can use, as well as tools and information and different things in order for you to be able to kind of get on track with things. And today, I'm kind of taking a little sidestep. This is still, of course, with a spending plan, but I know it's really early. Nobody wants to be thinking about holiday spending, but that is the topic of what I'm going to be talking about today. So hopefully this will get you in the right mindset when you are going out, and if you're planning on buying any sort of holiday gifts for your friends and family. And we'll kind of go through just hopefully some information that you haven't heard before, or maybe you have heard it, and it's just kind of makes it seem a little bit easier in your mind, that you're doing the right thing. So I would like to just kind of recap on the series that we've been working on. Week 1, I did talk about finding your style. Finding your style is trying to figure out which budgeting method is the right one for you, or which spending plan you prefer to do. Do you prefer to do something with pen and paper? Are you planning on doing something with something more technology, like apps, or using something like a computer program, Excel, something like that? Week 2, I did talk about SMART goals. Of course, a SMART goal is something that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Those kind of goals, if you use that method, will hopefully help you focus your attention on what your goals are and give you a little bit of guidance in that kind of realm. And then with week 3, I did talk about using 2 different checking accounts in order to use your spending plan a little bit more wisely. If you use 2 different checking accounts, you're using one for bill pay and one for spending. I also talked about the his, hers, and ours checking accounts, where all of the bills that are for the household bills go into one account, and then he or she gets a checking account, and he or she gets a checking account for them to be able to use for their spending. And then on week 4, I did talk about the crisis plan, so setting up a crisis budget. If you are going through some sort of hardship, maybe like a job loss or an illness or death in the family, something like that. Of course, if you want any information on this, you're always welcome to give us a call, or you can go onto our website. Family Credit Management is a debt management company. Again, we specialize in budgeting and crediting, credit counseling, and so you're welcome to give me a call if you have any questions at 312-738-1060, or you can call Family Credit Management at 800-994-3328, and you can also go to our website, which is familycredit.org. So back to the presentation for today, and again, we're going to be talking a little bit about holiday spending. So I did put together kind of a little bit of an infographic here for you, so your guide to holiday savings. And the first thing you want to start with is a SMART goal. Again, I talk a lot about SMART goals being something that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. What's more timely than setting a deadline for the holidays? So if I was to set up a SMART goal for the holidays, there's a lot of different ways that I can do this. First, what I would most likely want to do is write a list of everyone that I plan on either purchasing a gift for, or want to do something for you know, just maybe if you're wanting to do something a little bit more special for them. And then set, you know, realistic goals. So you're going to want to look at really what your income is. Have you saved any money? What is your plan for these type of gifts? Are you planning on, you know, maybe spending more on one person than the other? I did this myself recently. You know, I listed my friends and my family, and then I allocated different dollar amounts that I want to make sure I kind of stay under. Gift giving is kind of it's an odd tradition, in my opinion, simply because, you know, you're trying to stay under a certain budget, but you also want to make sure you get someone a good gift. So it's kind of weird setting an amount for someone, but at least it gives you an idea of where you want to keep your budget under. And so setting a SMART goal is a good thing to do. So again, what I would do for the SMART goal for myself is I may say that, you know, this year for Christmas, I would like to set a budget of $300 for my total budget. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to save, you know, maybe I've already saved up some money, so I'll say I'm going to use $100 out of my, you know, one of my savings accounts, and then I will take another $50 out of each paycheck and allocate that towards my spending plan. And then I'll say I want that can be completed by the 1st of December. So that way I made it a little bit more of a SMART goal, made it timely and relevant. So you always want to make sure you're setting goals for yourself first before you go out and actually start spending money, because if you don't have a plan in place, then chances are you'll end up starting to use your credit cards. Try to stay away from using credit cards this season. You know, the best thing to do is to use cash. If you can use something that's in savings that you specifically wanted to save up for this, try not to take away from your emergency funds. Those emergency funds are there for you for emergencies. So if you're able to maybe set a little bit aside and then, you know, use that funds for you to be able to purchase these gifts for your friends and family, then that's going to be the best thing for you. So after you've set a SMART goal, what you would want to do is really start thinking about things that are going to be good for you, not only for you, but also maybe the community that you live in. My biggest goal this year is to shop local. So shop local, eat local, spend local, enjoy local. I think that if you're really reinvesting in your community, it's not only helping you, it's also helping your neighbors and your friends and your family, but it's also helping the community that you live in. Instead of going to like the big box stores or the chain stores and purchasing just everybody's got the same cookie cutter gift, you want to make sure that you're buying something that's a little bit more unique. So you may want to do something where you shop locally. Again, if you guys have any questions, you're always welcome to call me. The number is listed on the screen at 312-738-1060. Again, I am answering questions not just necessarily about holiday spending or you know, even spending plans, but if you have questions regarding credit or if you have questions regarding, you know, housing related questions, you're welcome to call in and talk to me about any of those things. So again, I like to make a goal for myself and say that all of the gifts that I'm buying this year are going to be from local vendors, whether that be through, you know, maybe a local shop. You know, you might know somebody that's selling something on Etsy that is a local artist anyways. Those kind of things are going to really benefit the people in your community. So if you do that, it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. So I highly recommend doing something where you're shopping local. Another thing you can do is show your creativity. Do you have a skill that you can possibly use or utilize in order for you to be able to give that gift to your friends or family? I know this year I am looking into possibly doing some sort of arm knitting sweaters. So that's definitely something that, you know, I'm interested in. I also like doing hand lettering. So I, you know, might be able to use something in that sort of realm with my crafty side. It looks like we do have a call, so I'm going to go ahead and take the call and before we get back into the presentation. So go ahead.
Hi, I wanted to know, how do you raise your credit number?
Okay, so you want to know how to raise your credit score?
Yes.
Perfect. There's actually several different ways that you can raise your credit score. The easiest way, of course, is making sure that you're paying your payments on time every month. That's usually 35% of your credit score. So once you have your payments paid on time, you also want to make sure that you're utilizing your credit at 30% or less, and that is actually 30% of your credit score as well. So there's actually 5 things that go into your credit score. So it's those are the 2 main ones. Do you have credit cards or any sort of thing that's building your credit at this point?
Yeah, I have, but that's the problem. I have like a lot of credit cards, but I use my credit cards, but I do use them more than 35%. But I am making my payments on time and paying more than the 35%.
Good. That's good. Yes, if you're able to pay extra on your credit cards and get your balances down lower, that's definitely going to help. I know that I had credit cards, and for the longest time I was making on-time monthly payments every single month, and I was, really managing them really well, but my balances weren't coming down significantly. So if you're able to pay down your balances to less than 30% of your credit limit, then that should help to boost up your score fairly quick. I was stuck in the 600s, and I could not get my credit score to go above 700, and that was the way I did it. I was able to use some of my tax return money, and then what I did is I put that on my credit cards, and then my score went up significantly, like 30 or 40 points.
Okay, but like every year I pay my credit cards off to 0. I mean, yeah, I do use my credit cards rapidly more than I should. But it seems like it's never going up. Like it's like at a standstill.
So you pay them down to 0, and they're still kind of stagnant? Your score hasn't gone up at all?
Well, they notch up like maybe 5 or 10 points at a time, but they're never. I'm trying to get it to at least to the 650 limit or whatever, so I can try to buy me a house. But okay. I've been on this for 2 years, and they have not went up not once.
You might want to have somebody take a look at your credit report with you and do a credit report analysis. I know that our credit counselors can do that, and in particular, if you do call Family Credit, I can do that for you for free. So if you want to just call, and if, our credit counselors, if they're busy, they can always put you into my voicemail, and then I can actually do a little bit more in depth with you. There's general guidelines, and then there's something where you want to make sure you're looking at it and dealing with a professional. Might be able to give you a little bit more and tell you what's hurting your score.
Now, does medical bills really hurt your score?
Medical bills, usually when they go on your credit report, they ding your score, but they did change it recently where they're not supposed to affect you as negatively, but they're on your credit report. So, even though they may not affect your credit score as negative as they did in the past, it's still on your report. So if I'm a lender and I'm looking at your credit report, I'm going to see that you've got a bunch of medical debt. And depending on the lender, they may require that those things be paid off prior to you getting, a loan, or, if you're trying to apply for credit or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I call the same number in order to get the...
You can call 800 994-3328, and then just ask, for Laura. Let them know that you heard on CAN TV, and then they'll put you into my voicemail, and I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Okay, could you give me the number again?
Sure. It's 800-994-3328.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks for calling in. All right. So, kind of back to what we were talking about here with the the holiday spending. So, not only, are you able to utilize your creativity, but, maybe think outside the box a little bit. If you play music, could you maybe teach someone, something with like if you know how to play the guitar, could you do guitar lessons or piano lessons, or maybe you want to bake or cook something for someone, or, even give them lessons on how to do these kind of things. So kind of think outside the box a little bit. If it's something that's in your wheelhouse that you know how to do already, you may want to go ahead and do this instead of spending a whole lot of money out, out of your budget. So showing your creativity is one thing. My favorite thing that I've seen in the last couple, I would say like year or so, is the 4-gift rule. A lot of parents I know personally have been starting to utilize this rule. The 4-gift rule is basically buying your child 4 gifts. Something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read. So it's kind of catchy. I like the, kind of rhyme that goes along with it. But maybe they want something like a toy, and you would get them whatever toy that they've been asking for, or, if they've been good. something you need. I put down a computer. Of course, that's not always something that someone needs or can even afford. But, you know, just kind of getting you an idea, you know, maybe your kid needs something. I don't know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, electronic. It doesn't have to be something, maybe they need a new winter coat. And I know that it says something to wear, but, you know, the something to wear could be maybe some pajamas or something like that for, you know, Christmas Eve, or, you know, some sort of party if they needed some clothing for that, brand new shoes. And then something to read. Of course, you know, wanting to keep your kids educated is always a good thing. Family Credit Management actually has a book for kids about spending and saving, so you can always call and talk to them, you know, talk to us about that, and we can send you a copy of it. So, you know, again, we are taking calls on the air too, so if you have any questions, you're always welcome to call me live. It's 312-738-1060. Again, I can talk to you about anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be about holiday spending. If you have questions about your credit, you're welcome to give me a call. Or if you have questions about housing, I am a pre-purchase foreclosure and reverse mortgage counselor, so if you have questions regarding that, you're welcome to call me. Back to the holiday spending. So the 4-gift rule is something that's important, I think, and that's one of the things I'm going to start utilizing with my parents, at least. The other thing would be, you know, intangible gifts. These are kind of the gifts that might, you know, be the one that's going to save you the most money. Intangible gifts are things that, of course, somebody cannot touch. You know, coupons for babysitting. You know, they might be able to touch the piece of paper, but babysitting in itself is a huge gift for people, especially if they're, you know, first-time parents, or maybe they have multiple children. They're not able to get out a whole lot. Maybe they have to pay lots and lots and lots of money for a sitter or something like that. And then you can maybe get them something like a you know, coupon for dinner out in a movie. So that's a wonderful gift to get someone, maybe a newlywed, you know, someone who's just recently married. Let's say you've got friends who don't, you know, have kids, but you still want to get them something, and they've got dogs. You could do a dog walking service. Say that you're going to walk their dog every Saturday morning for a month. And I know it's getting cold out, so you may not want to do this in December, but these are just ideas that you can start thinking about to get your brain kind of going in the other direction. So you don't always have to go to the big box stores and buy gifts. This can be something that, you know, will help you, you know, not have to spend a whole lot of money and go off your budget. You can also offer your cleaning services for a month. Maybe you want to volunteer. Maybe your friends are really into volunteering and they need help. So, you know, you can pitch in, do something to help them. Maybe they like, you know, to do Habitat for Humanity. And so you're going to, you know, volunteer your weekend. You're going to let them know that that's something you're going to do for them. And it doesn't cost you anything, but it really means a lot to them. So start thinking about things that your friends are interested in or your family is interested in. Of course, there's snow removal or yard work if they have a yard. And then, you know, just spend time together. I know that this year for the holidays, my friend and I already discussed this. I told her, you know, I don't want to get gifts. I'm in my late 30s now. It's, you know, there's people who have children, let the kids have the gifts. So, but I do want to spend some time with her, and that is a gift to us. So I'm going to spend some time cooking, baking cookies with her, and then we're going to, you know, give them to our friends and family. So it's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm able to spend time with my friend. That's going to be our Christmas gift, and then we're going to you know, give those other gifts to our friends and family. So we're, you know, kind of hitting lots of different categories in this. Oop, sorry, I got off track. So now that and I missed my spot here, so just give me 1 second. After the intangible gifts, there's also what you want to do is be mindful. So you only want to make sure that you're giving gifts that add value to the lives of to whom you're giving them. So that is the most important thing. The holidays are about spending time together with family and friends. It's not about giving the best gifts or the most gifts. You know, a lot of times we get into these competitions. I know I do the same thing with my friends all the time. I keep telling her, you know, you give such great gifts. I feel like I'm not giving, you know, the greatest of gifts. So then I try to, you know, compete with her the next year. What can I do to make sure that she knows that I care about her? What gifts can I give her to make her feel like I love her? Spending the time with her and you know, doing that kind of stuff, that means more, and I need to stop my own self from being that mindset. So making sure that you're only giving a gift, and if it's just 1 gift, let it be 1 gift. You don't need to fill the trees or, you know, the tables up with gifts and, you know, for just to fill it. You want to make sure that you're buying something that's going to be meaningful. So also spend less by buying one meaningful item. And then, you know, me and my brother, every year what we do is we give the gift of savings. You know, usually we give each other something small, but I always joke around with my brother for our birthdays and for Christmas. You know, we were, especially in our 20s, didn't have a whole lot of money. Didn't really care about our budgets, which is not a good thing. But what we used to do is, you know, every year I'd say, guess what, Dan? I'm giving you the gift of savings, so you don't have to buy me any gifts, and I won't buy you any gifts. But yeah, we still got to spend time together, so that's the important thing, of course. You can also utilize free online shipping if you are deciding to purchase something that's maybe online. And then you can also use apps and sites like Living Social or Groupon to save further on these type of items. Another cool thing, if you do decide to buy someone something and you want to buy them something substantial, I really enjoy these subscription boxes. You know, I don't know if you guys have heard about these kind of things, but something like Loot Crate, you know, there's lots of different things that are in these boxes. Typically, they run anywhere from $10 up to $50 or more for these subscription boxes. So you have to really be careful and, you know, really budget out for these kind of things. But let's say you wanted to buy somebody something that's like a $30 gift, and you want it to be a really cool gift. Maybe you can get them a subscription box that's $10 for the next 3 months. So every month they're going to be getting this new gift, and it's something that they can it reminds them of you, it reminds them of the holidays, and gives them a warm feeling. So that might be something to do. I actually did myself. I bought my friend the Loot Crate subscription. They've got things all the way from food, pet stuff, you know, all the way to clothing, fitness stuff. I mean, you name it, they've got subscription boxes for it. So on this, the Loot Crate, the Nerd Block, the Geek Box, those are kind of toys and I guess nerdy stuff, if you want to call it that. Birchbox, Ipsy, Glossybox, Sephora, those kind of things are all beauty. BarkBox and Loot Pets are for your pets. If you wanted to buy someone, maybe you've got somebody who loves cats or dogs, they might be able to utilize one of those kind of boxes. Freshly, HelloFresh, Blue Apron, and Home Chef. Those are food-related subscription boxes. And then the last one, that FabFitFun, BuluBox, Barbella, and Wannable, those are all fitness boxes. So if you've got somebody who's really into working out, maybe they just want to get, you know, physically fit, or maybe somebody who's wanting to get into shape, that might be something good to, for you to get to them. So what you also want to do is you want to make sure that you're planning ahead. So next year, when it comes to Christmas or you know, Hanukkah or whatever holiday you're celebrating, you want to make sure that you talk to your banker about maybe a holiday or vacation savings account. Not that many banks have this anymore, but it's a good way if you're really struggling to find a way to not spend money. This would be a good way for you to do that. You can also automate your savings into a separate account. That's always an easy way to do it. If you're doing the bill pay spending accounts, maybe just have a separate one for savings as well. You can also open a money market CD, just put a lump sum in there during tax time. You can't touch it for 6 months, and then at the end of 6 months, you've got that money saved up, and then you're able to withdraw it. You can also use a saving app or program like Digit, Simple, or Level. I recently started using Digit. Basically what they do is they transfer small amounts out of your checking account into the savings account. It's like 50 cents at a time. And just in a week I've already saved up $5. So little bits go a long way. So 3 important takeaways for you guys today is the first one, I want you guys to really think about creating a spending plan and sticking to it. Only buying items that will bring value to your home, to your friends, or your family's lives. And then think outside the box. Creative gifts are often the most cherished, so you really want to make sure that, you know, that what you're doing for them is something that's meaningful. So I would like to just, you know, remind you guys that we are, you know, able to be located on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. You can also call us at 800-994-3328 and speak with any of our counselors there if you have questions on that. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Have a great day.